Mindful coloring is a leisure activity, a means to relax and unwind. Mindful coloring is not the same as art therapy, and the activity should not be considered synonymous. Art therapy is employed to help individuals work on emotional healing and focuses on inner struggles. While Donna Betts, an art therapy professor, draws a clear line between art therapy and coloring, she says we have too many screens in our lives. Maybe people are going back to coloring books because they are tactile, a way to engage with something that involves using our hands on a piece of paper. Maybe it's the nostalgia of coloring as a child. Maybe it's a break from the responsibilities of life and rigid routines. Maybe it's the idea of creating something beautiful with your hands. And maybe it's the idea of connecting with something tactile in the present moment. If the last is true, perhaps the ready-made outlines of adult coloring books will offer mindful moments for you to hear the sharpener refine the tip of your pencil, to hear the pencil scratch your paper, and to see the colors bring life to the page. Mindfulness involves being present in the physical world. It invokes us to consider our experiences through our senses. It involves non-judgmental awareness of our thoughts and feelings. Mindful exercises can improve your mood, reduce your stress, improve your physical health, improve your brain function, and provide clearer thinking. So while the research doesn't reveal significant declines in anxiety and depression, the boom of adult coloring book retail sales and personal testimonies will tell you that mindful coloring does a mind and body good, as both the logical and creative parts of the brain are activated, redirecting focus from worries and anxieties. Mindful coloring uses fine motor skills to encourage self-expression while not feeling crippled by a blank page. There are many choices of adult coloring books on the market. I own a wide variety because I like to keep it interesting. I own a coloring book with geometric shapes, personally my least favorite, a fashion book that contains garments from every decade and trend, several animal books, I have seasonal books, and greeting card books, which are my personal favorite. Adult coloring books often retail for a higher price, but you can find good deals on them at discount stores. At present, you can secure a children's coloring book for about $1 to $5, but adult coloring books will cost more like $3 to about $15. Obviously, the price depends on the number of pages, the variety of designs, and the quality of the paper. While an adult can color a children's coloring book page in about 3 to 7 minutes, like Rat-a-Tat-Cat, it will probably take significantly longer to complete an adult coloring book page. You don't need fancy crayons, markers, gel pens, or colored pencils. Basic ones will work just fine. I'm a fan of colored pencils. I like the way they feel in my hand when I color. I like that I can determine how sharp or dull they are, and I like the end result. I cannot endorse one product over another, but I will advise that the higher quality colored pencils you purchase will result in a higher quality and more satisfying coloring experience. I love to color. I find it relaxing, calming, and it helps redirect my focus from the things weighing on my shoulders. Confession: on occasion, I take my colored pencils to church and color during the service. Although it may appear that I'm not paying attention, it actually helps me relax and soak in the sermon. Why do I share this? Practical application. Obviously, it depends on your meeting, event, or occasion, but consider offering a coloring option for those who prefer to keep their hands busy, aiding in their focus. Perhaps you can add an image that can be colored in the corner of your meeting agenda, or if you are hosting a full-day training, consider a cover page on your training materials. If you need full attention with eye contact and all hands on deck, I wouldn't recommend this. But if that's not the case, you'll need a stash of crayons, colored pencils, gel pens, or markers. And while this may seem elementary, you might find that individuals enjoy your trainings and meetings more. Shortly after I onboarded with Purdue Extension, I attended a training for youth educators on campus. We were provided coloring placemats at the meeting. It lightened the mood and gave the immediate impression that the training was casual and that staff were willing to meet multiple learning styles. Even if you skip the coloring utensils and provide a border around your meeting agenda or somewhere on your print materials, attendees can use their ink pens or graphite pencil to scratch the paper. Here's an example of a document I provide to elementary school students. They can color the borders in the upper right, the box in the lower left, or the rhino that represents their school mascot. You'll notice this example is all about gratitude. We'll revisit gratitude shortly. Empirical and theoretical research is limited in color psychology. Red and blue appear to be the colors studied most in depth, but I find that universities, marketing companies, and practitioners disagree on the feelings invoked and the meanings behind the colors. While many agree that red, for example, is the color of love and romance, we often find red associated with urgency and danger. Some of you may be thinking, yeah, love is dangerous, but I would argue that love should be a place of comfort rather than danger, and it certainly shouldn't require urgency. Similarly, some associate purple with loneliness, while others say purple is a color of vision and wholeness. Doesn't a lonely person feel the opposite of wholeness? If we get even more technical, we have to think about the hue or the shade and chroma or intensity of colors. Sky blue likely invokes a different feeling than midnight blue. Researchers have tried to make sense of color for decades as they have studied emotional response, cognition, behavior, and even the science behind the wavelengths. Or to make things more interesting, does the past predict the future? Meaning you respond to a color based on your historical association with that color? I'll let you be the judge of colors as you select the colors that work for you and emulate your mood, or as you try to match the mood you're going for. So please view this video with the understanding that individuals will respond differently to colors, and colors can take on different meanings for different people. Here's an example of the same card with a cool color representation and a warm color representation. One of my favorite things is to see how different people decide to color the same picture. The birthday cards are all the same, but oh so different. They certainly have different colors, and if you study them, you'll see they were also colored in different areas. The far left birthday card displays only 3 colors, excluding the flame of course, and has no color on the piano key border. The second birthday card uses 3 basic colors, but a total of 6 pencils because of hues. And a few of the lines in the piano key border were skipped. The third exhibits neutral colors, a stark contrast to the fourth. Although the butterfly-laden thank you cards are relatively similar, they too do not look identical. The congratulation cards are altogether different, as I made my own colorful pattern on the example to the left. There is freedom within the lines, friends. This example shows the difference in saturation. Color firmly for a bold look, and color softly for a lighter, more whimsical look. Because I find pleasure in coloring, I appreciate the benefits of mindfulness, and I find ways to weave coloring into things other than the standard coloring book. This is my calendar. I use rubber stamps to build the canvas, so to speak, and then I use my colored pencils to be mindful and just kind of check out for a while as I add life to my calendar. I like my April much more than my May, but soon enough I'll like them both. I'm not the only one who likes to color in my house. In fact, coloring has become a social event at many libraries. My 3-year-old likes to color with me. Can you guess which page of my devotional is hers? Earlier, I mentioned gratitude. Gratitude has been found to increase joy and happiness, to improve mental and physical health, to improve relationships, and to increase one's optimism about their future. I encourage you to mindfully color for your benefit, and then use your coloring as a form of gratitude. Whether you color a card or write a note on the back of your coloring page, your form of gratitude will reap benefits for you, the giver, as well as the recipient. This is where that elementary school document brings both worlds together. Mindful coloring blended with mindful gratitude, all in pursuit of creating healthier young people in our elementary schools, and hopefully in pursuit of creating a healthier you. So break out the crayons, markers, colored pencils, or whatever you have. Listen to the sound of the utensil scratch the page. Relax in the back and forth motion of your hand and wrist brushing the page, and allow your brain to settle into the creative and logical flow that it craves.